Okay, working out is doing great, but my body hurts. Hopefully, the yoga will get me where I need to be at because I think I got tennis elbow, and I'm pretty sure I played tennis before, but a long time ago. You should only have tennis elbow if you play tennis, and that's a rule. But okay, let me get started. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted After 40, the podcast. When did talking go from, in person, talking to people, pretty much like I'm talking to you, like you're looking at the video, or if you was a person, well, you are people, but like if I had a person actually in front of me, talking, when did that go to like, give me your Instagram, talking to, here's my Instagram. I remember you just walk up to somebody and legitimately say, hey, can I get your number? Okay, but let me read my monologue that I prepared for y'all. That's why I got my glasses on. Let me see. Have you ever looked around and realized we don't actually talk anymore? Like as society, right? We have downgraded communication so many times to basically its own clearance. That is 100% true. We have went from real conversations to whatever this is in 2026 nonsense is. Honestly, I want a refund. That's pretty much that. I want a refund. We used to talk to people and, have basic conversation with them. And I guess that's an old person thing. And that's one of the things that me as a observant, as I navigate through my 40s and realize that things that I used to do or want to teach my kids now, or even teach any young person these days, I have to adjust and get different. And let me start by telling this story. Okay, so about a couple weeks ago, I was out and I was observing, being nosy. That's basically what it is. I was just being nosy. And I saw these two young people talking, right? And it reminded me of when I was a young man and I walked up to a girl the first time and asked her number. And like I said, I can remember because see, back when I was growing up in the 90s, you actually had to remember someone's number. And that was a hard task for me, especially back then. 'Cause my memory bad now, my memory bad then. So it was a extremely hard task to remember somebody's number. And I want to make sure I remember her number because, like I say, I like this girl. So, like I say, I'm going to give you some rough dates. I guess back by the 93. Okay. I should have been about 13 then. Okay, 93. And I remember her name. I'm going to say her name because we still actually talk and I don't want no problem with her husband. He's big these days. But anyway, I remember getting the courage, walking up to her and say, hey, I like you. I think you're cute. And I was hoping that I can call you sometime, And I don't know what Josie back then, but, I'm thinking, Josie, man, can I call you sometime? And I thought I was smooth. You couldn't tell me I wasn't smooth. 'Cause I had like the cut off jeans with the plain white tee, and the fresh Nikes. And I was walking to her to get that number, get those 7 digits like they call. So she looked out to me and she said, okay, you can call me at my house. Because that's pretty much where you can call anyway. They ain't had cell phones back then. You just call them at the house. You got to look a house phone that was on the wall, or the one that was you had to pick up and answer. They like physically put to your ear with a cord to it, like a cord phone. Cordless phones. If you had a cordless phone back then, your parents had some money. We didn't have no cordless phones, so but we had a phone. That's all that counted, right? And it was on the wall and had a little plug. I remember sitting down on the wall talking to her on the phone. But anyway, I asked her for her number. She told me her number. And when she told it to me, all I had to do is remember the last four. That's literally all I had to do, remember the last four. And at the time when I asked her, I was so nervous asking her number. I really wasn't paying attention to the numbers that come out of her mouth. I was just literally gazing into her freaking eyes like a dummy, like, ah, instead of actually listening to what she told me. And when I saw her the next day, at school, she said, "Why didn't you call me?" And I said, "Look here, I'm sorry. I got the number switched up. Can you give it to me again?" And at this time, I had a pencil and a pen, because a pencil and a pen, or what they say, a little black book back then was a thing to have. You got to have a book, paper thing. So like the day of age of, finding numbers in your man pocket is over. Just look at his phone. So that's a little pro tip for you women that don't trust your men. But if you're the man you don't trust, just leave him alone. But anyway, I'm talking about his thing, right? So communication basically has gotten to a point where we don't really communicate with each other in 2026. So back in the 90s, like I said, I used to actually go and have to talk to people and ask their numbers, which I love. Like, I think even at the gas station yesterday, they got this little kiosk, you just put your little things there and it reads the price or reads the thing and it tells you how much it's supposed to cost. I miss actually walking to the cash register and talking to the angry cash register person or waiting in line to just get my stuff checked out. Because every place went to the little digital things. Walmart, Target, all the grocery stores, like let's say Bilo, Piggly Wiggly, anyone you think, they all got these little automatic things now. So we really don't talk to people no more. We don't communicate like we used to back in the day. But going back to when I was saying that I was being nosy, and I remember when I first asked a girl for a phone number, like I said, I was excited to actually witness the point in time this young man that remind me of myself had the opportunity and the courage to walk up to this young lady and ask her for her phone number. Because as a man myself back in the day, remember that time, hey, it takes a lot of balls to walk up to a girl the first time, especially like her and things. So I'm sitting back. I'm in the mall and I'm eating. I'm eating something I'm not supposed to be eating because I'm working out, but I'm not going to tell you what that is, but we're going to let that go. And I'm just observing, and it was exciting to see that he walked up to the girl. You see he was a little nervous because he had his hands, he rubbed his hands together. He turned around and looked like he was practicing on his line that he had to say to her, because the line he was going to give her had to been killer, because he looked like he was practicing on it, and he got it in steps. So he walked up to her and he had his phone out. And I thought that, he's just going to hand her a phone and say, "Hey, can I get your number?" But it didn't went like that. Apparently, it went horribly wrong. Not wrong, but not like I thought it was going to actually pan out. So he talked to her, he swerved side to side, like it's like you tell a little nervous swerve. And when he asked her, she started to giggle. It like, whatever he said, the line worked, and she was smiling from cheek to cheek and stuff like that. And I could overhear their conversation. And he said, "Hey, can I get your Instagram?" And I was like, hold up. I'm pretty sure he supposed to ask for her number. But apparently, he asked her for her Instagram. So I was a little confused, why would he ask her for her Instagram, but that's what he did. So all the excitement at that point kind of left me. I'm like, he didn't even do it right. I actually wanted to walk over there and stop him and give him a little lesson. Hey, man, this is how you walk up to the girls and talk to them, But he wasn't my child, so I didn't approach, but I was a little disappointed. So I waited and see if another person will do the same thing, some other young man. Because, in the mall, back when I was growing up in the 90s, the mall was the place to go to holler at girls, Girls came there to get seen. Guys went there to go see the girls. So I don't know if that's still the thing. Like I said, 'cause I really don't go to the mall that much. Only reason I went to the mall yesterday or this past week, whenever I went, let's say I already told you my memory bad. I went to look at a piece of clothing in the actual mall that I saw online to make sure it looks like what I saw online, because as y'all all know, you'll buy something online, then when it comes in person, totally look different. But I waited maybe about another 20 minutes because, like I said, I was eating. And just to see, I saw other people talking, but I really couldn't overhear the conversation started. So I really didn't get no good data. So I'm gonna have to get some data out there and see if there's a thing. So I did the next best thing. I came home and talked to my, teenage daughter. She's 17, so she knows what's going on. And she explained to me that, Dad, people don't give out numbers no more. They give out their Instagram handle. I'm like, so what? They're sliding their DMs. And once again, I've been corrected. My daughter said, you can't say sliding DMs. That she said, Dad, that's nasty. I didn't know that was a thing that was nasty. I did, because I heard it on TV. I want to be cool. Okay, I just want to be cool. Sliding your DMs is a thing, right? But I guess it's not one of the things you said. And apparently it's not, because when I went to work and started talking about it, they all corrected me. So I work with a bunch of young people, and they all told me I was wrong. I need to fix my vocabulary or say it different, but I didn't know. So, but you can send them a DM, okay? And that means direct message, okay? That's what it means, I think. Yeah, direct message. Yeah, okay, direct message, whatever. So, but yeah, that's what we asked for. So, but go back to my daughter. She explained to me. She said, yeah, they don't ask for numbers anymore. Either they ask for they DM, or you get their Instagram, or for y'all old people, y'all Facebook. I said, okay, you know what? F you. And I'm not that old, but why not a phone number? She said people just don't like giving out their phone numbers no more. People communicate more over the social media apps like Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, and I guess Twitch, some other things like that. I don't know if it's X or Twitter. I know it's still a thing, but I don't know if young people use it. I know I use it because I'm old. But yeah, so pretty much we downgraded from actually talking to people on the phone to actually DM them or getting their Instagram handle. So we don't even know numbers no more. They have stole the pleasure of walking to a person and ask them for their 7 digits. You can't even use the line no more. All these songs that they wrote about back in the 90s that they still can use now, that are classics, they took them away from the young generation. We cannot communicate there. We have downgraded communication, and we have to do better. We just have to do better. I don't know what it is. When I remember when texting came out, and texting is great. I'm an avid texter, so I can't bash on it too bad. But I do like to, pick up the phone and call people sometime and actually hear their voice or talk to them in person. Said that would be a great thing. So I guess we just don't no more. So go back to what I was talking about earlier, the joy for a male and the joy for a female, I would think, because as that male walking up to that female nervous, palm sweaty, trying not to stutter when we talk to the female, and that female having some male, like gorgeous like myself, walking up to them and asking them for their number used to be a ritual that I would thought both people would, if she like him and he like her, would be inciting to talk to them. But as I realize, people don't talk no more. In 2026, communication is a dying form. Well, physical communication. Because all this other communication, they'd be great. I understand. People don't talk to each other no more. They don't call. And now, apparently, they stopped texting. All they do is, I don't even think they DM no more. Like I say, you just hear them from the Instagram, or you just watch the Instagram Reel story or Facebook story. We don't communicate face to face. We are just passing by in the board. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna ask somebody for the Instagram. If you see me out there, I'm gonna ask you for your number. I'm not asking for your Instagram. So, and then if I see you in person, I'm gonna just come talk to you in person. I can actually physically come talk to you in person. I am, cause like I said, calling someone in another state, got it. Okay, but we have to do better. We have to do better. I don't know what it is right now. I want a refund. on communication. That's pretty much it. I want a refund. So I encourage you all out there to go, if you can, physically talk to someone. And then if you haven't asked someone for their number in a while, and then have the painstaking thing to actually remember it. Cause I know you want to just pull out your phone and just type number, or I know that with the Apple thing, we bump and swing numbers, exchange numbers and stuff. So bring back the joy of communication and actually physically talking to someone this week, this month, this year. We cannot go backwards in communication. That the 90s was great. I love the 90s because in the 90s we actually talked to people and physically, had interaction. Interaction with a human being is awesome. Most of the time. Most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, most of the time. So until next time, go out there and physically talk to somebody. Don't let communication down your watch.